All right, man. Welcome to the H Town, man. This is H Town right now. Welcome to the channel. You know what to do. We ain't even gonna say because you already know what to do. So we're gonna be reacting to Destiny, the liberal blue year guy Destiny. Not judging, but just saying that's who he is. Blue year Destiny. He has changed, but there's some accusation. Not sure how true they are. I'm just new to what's going on. Apparently he's getting canceled and sued. So let's check this video out, see what's all about, and let's see. Let's put our take on it, man. Let's see what's popping.
He has so many victims and he has done this same shtick over and over and over again. Other women reach out to him who are 18 or 19 or 20. He tries to use and abuse them. And unfortunately, I made the mistake of not having had sex with him. Then he...
All right, so I hate to do this to you guys, but we're definitely moving from one creep to another. The title of this video says, "The Destiny allegations are nasty." Let's check it out.
Threatened to leak non-consensual, illegal recordings of me.
So over the past week, while the world was falling apart, the ice trucks were out, fires were still running rampant, it was freezing weather everywhere, some big news on the internet kind of flew up underneath the radar. And it involved the internet's most yappiest yapper, Destiny. And I'm not gonna lie, these allegations are pretty damning and they might pack him up for good this time. So this all started on MLK Day / the inauguration day when two exposés went out exposing Destiny for some of his wrongdoing.
Inauguration day, man. Sheesh, the great white hope. Trump is in office, man. Get ready, man.
Doings and bad behaviors when it came to some of his former collaborators that just so happened to be women. These things involved a lawsuit by somebody in his community by the name of Pixie. And basically what Pixie is claiming is that Destiny befriended her.
Bro, Pixie is so annoying, man. Yeah, I remember watching her on podcasts. Like, yo, she makes my head hurt. I ain't gonna lie, man. You want to run away when you see a girl like that.
She befriended Destiny, and through her 19-year-old eyes, she saw Destiny as somebody that was trustworthy. So in some way, shape, form, or fashion, which isn't disclosed in the documentation from what I read, she decided to send Destiny a picture of herself while she was...
What the... Pixie, you're all about Destiny, huh? Yeah. Okay.
And then Destiny decides to send that picture, that nude picture, to a third party, and that third party plastered that picture all over the internet. Now we
okay. Listen, here's the lens I want you guys to see this from, because this is the lens I'm looking at it from. If you want to know the direction I'm actually approaching this from, keep in mind that Destiny is the same guy who was fighting toxic masculinity. Destiny's the same.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, it's true. You hop on Fresh and Fit. When I used to watch Fresh and Fit, and toxic masculinity and all that bull crap that will come on there and spread, and I'm like, bro, what is this guy talking about?
Same guy who was on Fresh and Fit, who they have their own issues and problems. Definitely. But he's the same guy on there fighting and championing feminism, being the guy who separates himself from the toxic masculine men. He presents himself like the good guy. And it turns out this man has allegedly been on some Diddy shit.
Diddy, free Diddy, man. I'm just saying things. Don't take it face value, okay? Being funny about this right now.
If you're wondering how bad this actually gets, it gets pretty bad.
Diddy.
Really bad. I'm talking filming people during certain explicit acts without their consent. Bad.
But you know what? It's funny because the liberal talking points would be you would ask for consent before you do any of these things. So this is kind of a peculiar situation that Destiny actually have put himself into, because he'll make all these good talking points, but does he do what he says in those talking points? I don't know. And now they're going to portray this as toxic masculine, to use your power to video, girls or do whatever you want, but that's not the case. But let's see what's What's up?
Right. It's not looking good for Destiny.
Don't know her intent. We don't know why she held this for so long. We don't know what's going on here, but what we do know is Destiny's screenshots do not make him look like a good guy at all. In one of the screenshots, he talks about potentially paying some bills as a way to get in her good graces and hopefully have her mind at ease while she's
Beta male. This, you're paying bills, buddy. Beta male energy out here. What the?
getting through all this trauma that he caused. Now, he doesn't explicitly say what the trauma is, but this is the claim. He's admitting that it's trauma. Oh, no, Destiny. Now, it's sad to say that this isn't the only time that Destiny has done something like this. He gets multiple accounts brought up against him again and again and again.
So, my guy.
Destiny was caught up in a scandal involving a competitive StarCraft 2 player called Blue T, who had tweeted out a photo of his genitals. This was in retaliation for Destiny previously leaking images of her to his friends on Skype, wherein he left.
How does this dude always get caught up in some type of situation where his privates are getting exposed? He's caught on video doing some sus stuff. We know that he goes both ways. There's a video.
Yeah, man, he goes both ways, I mean, everyone to their own. Not judging. Every man to their own. But there's one way to live. Just saying, man.
I saw where they were talking about he's obsessed with Grindr, right? Can't stop swiping on Grindr. And then now you have the allegations of him befriending these young women and then blackmailing them and filming them without their consent. Keep in mind, this is the guy who doesn't like the fact that there are people out here who embrace their masculinity, and he believes that's toxic and that women should be able to express themselves and be 304s. Now it makes sense, right? He supports all that hedonistic lifestyle. He supports every bit of that, and it's finally starting to make sense.
Laughed at how, quote unquote, hideous her face was compared to her quote-unquote beautiful body. In 2021, Destiny had a romantic entanglement with a YouTube streamer named Anna Voir. Anna would go on to become known for insisting, often tearfully, that she was actually in a long-term romantic relationship with Destiny, which Destiny denied, painting her as crazy to his audience. It was later revealed that in fact it was actually for the entire time. Anna threatened to post these charged texts to prove that she wasn't crazy and that this was all actually taking place. And in retaliation, Destiny threatened in public to leak her photos if she did so.
If you and I had or something or traded, I'm gonna leak your, and I go, fuck you, if you leak my, I'm gonna leak your, like blackmail, or is that like abusive? I disagree.
Destiny has a very bad history when it comes to sharing intimate material of people.
So if you guys didn't hear that, he's basically arguing with women who they've filmed stuff or sent stuff back and forth, and he's saying, hey, if you do this and that, I'm gonna leak your explicit photos, and threatening people in that way.
People that he is sexually involved with without their.
See, when I watch this video, I understand that it's not Destiny himself. It's not him, right? It's because he has identified with these things inside him for so long. He thinks it's him. But I'll explain more. Let's see what's happening more in the video.
Consent, and of using the threat of their release to keep people in line. When people speak out about Destiny's misconduct, the responses vary from silence to dismissal to outright threats of exposing their intimate information and media.
Now, it wasn't that long ago that Destiny showed his true colors. Back in 2023, he went through a divorce in which he basically said to the woman that he was getting divorced that if she were to reveal any details of their relationship or anything like that, he would ruin her life. He said that would seem to be threats toward her.
Why do you think that she isn't going to leak or talk shit? Melina will not leak or talk shit about any of this because she knows everything about this makes her look like a fucking satanic demon. She knows that. She's threatened it a million times. Like, I'm going to start leaking everything. Oh, yeah, let's go. Okay, if you really want to, holy because my reputation is already zero in regards to our relationship. Everybody thinks I'm a horrible piece of shit. We want to start leaking shit. We can do it.
And now we see him in less than a year's time with 19-year-old content creator taking
Let me tell this, man. People are just evil. Evil, man. So keep that in mind. It's just two demons, two devils going back and forth. Destiny and his wife. Those are the example of the devil going back and forth with each other with the ego. So let's see if there's more in this that I can, because I don't want to take too long in this video, honestly.
private, intimate conversations and photos and other things that were supposed to stay between them. At least that's what she was groomed to believe. And then him distributing them for whatever sick fantasies that he could have. And I don't necessarily want to super give an indictment on Destiny and his sexual endeavors, but just because that's stuff that you may be into doesn't mean that everybody else is into it. You can't
The one question I have when I see a lot of this stuff going on is, why is it that a lot of these people we see in the public spotlight are typically into this type of stuff? When I say this type of stuff, I mean, like, what is it about wanting a collection of you smashing a bunch of chicks and you being really, really public and known by millions of people? Yes, people are into whatever they may be into in the bedroom, but having this collection of explicit content,
You know, it's not even that. It's just how society have come. Society have come to a place where, as a man, it value you to be a slut maker. I mean, I I was one. I was one. But I learned. You know, and you end up with all of these sex videos in your phone because at that point you're the man. But it's not even you. That's the thing. I understand because I've been through it and I've learned that it's not even you yourself. You just identify with that for so long. From a kid growing up, you identify in your mind with those thoughts and you think it's you, but it's not even you, right? So it's so much to unpack, but I can't go too deep in it. Let's see what else we can figure what's happening out here with the people, because it's what's happening with me is happening to everyone in the world. And it's true because I've seen it, my workplace, everyday life to life, and I just understand it. It's a battle that I have to deal with every day of my life. When I get up, I have to deal with it, right? It's a fight against good and evil, and it's not a physical war. It's a spiritual war when you understand what is actually happening. So let's dive more into this video.
You filming people without their consent, it obviously seems to be something that a lot of public figures are really into.
It's not only the public figure, it's everyone struggle with this. Every single person struggle with the loss, because society, if you go on Instagram, if you go on YouTube, you see where these girls dress, and men are so weak because women know that's the man's biggest weakness, and there's a reason for that. It's the man's biggest weakness, women, and they know, so they just dress slutty, and man can't help it but gravitate to it, and then they end up doing all of these evil things. The man are evil, the woman are evil, so it's just two evil coming together. And he always end up like this. Destiny's in a situation now where that's what it always comes out to: marriage, relationship. And I've learned, so it's just what it is. You have to want to work in yourself and be better.
What's the thought process in that? You're going to get caught. You're eventually going to get caught somehow, some way. And it seems like Destiny does not mind crashing out. I mean, it's to the point now where you have friends of his who are now cutting him off, right? People who I thought what it seemed like were very close to him.
You guys can see the title. I stand behind it. It's not bait. It's not a joke. Destiny's getting canceled, all right? And the reason being this time is that he supposedly had an intimate relationship with some women. And what he would do is when he would film intimate moments with these ladies, record them, he would share some of these with other women he was approaching. In one case, he shared it with a 19-year-old e-girl who he had never met in his life, and he was flirting with her and shared videos of himself sleeping with another person without their consent. Essentially, the 19-year-old gets hacked, and that stuff goes public. The person who was in the videos finds out, loses her mind, files a lawsuit asking Destiny for a huge sum of money. And then, it comes out thereafter that Destiny apparently had also recorded a lot of other women while they were in his apartments without their consent.
Yeesh, yeesh, yeesh.
So this has kind of gotten bigger and bigger since. We're back. Me specifically. Where's Preach? Preach busy, you know what I mean? Out there doing gay shit with his wife. Me, I'm here for you guys right now.
What
I was up in Africa. Now, if you think I'm going to take my time away from my people so I can go spend time on the internet to talk about white on white violence, you are bugging. And if you guys are wondering where Preach is, aside from doing gay shit with his wife, we both agreed that there's only one woman that each of us are going to defend.
Okay, let's skip through this.
Okay? This is a fairly serious matter, and people wanted to hear my opinions. And I'll be honest with you, for all the bad things that are happening to Destiny, I don't feel bad. The reason why I don't feel bad, and this might surprise some of you because some of you don't know this, me and Destiny have spoken about his dating behavior for a very long time. We've talked about it on stream, off stream, and I've always been very vocal about the fact that I think he's very dysfunctional with how he handles his dating life,
Right.
with how he prioritizes pleasure over everything else. And I think the root of a lot of these issues in this whole situation is that he prioritizes his own selfish desires over other people's well-being, over what's good for his business and his career. And now it's costing him more. It cost him already some things in the past, and he's always been very much in denial about how it affects him negatively. And now it's costing him even more. And I'm, to this day, not entirely sure if he's ready to really acknowledge the impact it has on him.
Do you think I'm self-destructive?
Yeah. If you engage in hedonism, I would say you're self-destructive. I say the same thing about Destiny. I think he can be self-destructive, and I don't think you would entirely disagree.
So
I completely disagree. I don't think I'm
think is
self-destructive at all.
Yeah, I think you know the saying, "Too smart for your own good."
Well, hedonism never leads to anything good. It always leads to your destruction, you know? And it's in the Bible. If you're a Bible person, it's in the Bible. Never turns out to anything good. So, see what this guy have to say about it.
Destiny fully embodies that. You know, you hear a lot of sayings, and there's certain moments in life where you're like, oh, that's what that means. That's what that means here in this particular situation. Too smart for your own good. And I think there are a lot of lessons here, especially if you're on the outside looking in and you see a lot of these public figures, content creators making what you would think is just a really stupid decision. Should show you that being smart is one thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are wise. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have discipline. And it doesn't matter how smart you are, doesn't matter how talented you are, you will never be able to replace discipline and wisdom for those things, which is why I think a code that you live by, and for me, you know, that's like biblical principles, trying to live by certain biblical principles to an extent. You have Proverbs that really
I get what he's saying, you know, biblical, you want to live a life of fulfillment and live by the book, but don't even try, because if you try, you're just going to end up falling back into the same thing that you're trying not to do, because it's going to be on your mind. Try not to do, you're going to end up doing. You ever go into church and they're like, oh, what's an example? I would hear them use it all the time, like, oh, it's the last money in your bank account, don't think about it. But when they mention it, it's actually the thing you're going to think about. So don't even think about it. Don't even try. Because when you try, it's going to stay in your mind, and then you're going to fall back right into that same cycle that you are trying to get out of. So don't try to live up to anything. Just live. Just let life happen, man.
really encourage you to be wise and show you the difference between a foolish man and a wise man. You know, having a code that you live by in life can really benefit you so that your actions don't lead to your own demise. And anybody is vulnerable to that. And you'll be surprised how many people are blind to their own self-destruction. Like in this situation, we see Destiny in.
Oh, hold up. I'm just actually curious. You don't think that to some degree your hedonism doesn't bite you in the
Nope. I think I have a really good engagement with most of my hobbies. I think I do it pretty well. I think that my mental functioning is very high. I think my career is incredibly successful. There are parts of my life that I.
He's talking about his career and other things. He's talking about your hedonism. That's what he's talking
can
about.
improve, but I think that people look at some of the standard markers for trouble and they, for some reason, project a ton of stuff onto me. But I think I'm living like one of the healthiest, fullest lives that I possibly could be.
Delusion.
You know what? I believe him, actually. I believe him. Because that's just what he knows. So he thinks that he's living to his full capability or capacity, whatever he said. But I believe him because when I was in that state, not in whatever he's in, when I used to be how I used to be back then, I would believe it because I knew no differently. Right? Because you have identified with it for so long, that's what it is.
Illusion. Healthy life. What about now? Pure, straight, unfiltered delusion coming out of Destiny. I did a whole video actually on Destiny a while back. It was like a video titled When Open Relationships Go Wrong, because I think he's been in mostly open relationships, right? Like he likes to watch he
Beta
would let his wife sleep with other men, his ex-wife, right? A lot of weird shit. And I said, these type of things never end well. This type of a lifestyle never typically ends well. And here we are right now.
Constantly having poor relationships with women over a long period of time, or in other situations, STDs, different things like that. Eventually, that hedonism comes back to bite them in the life, and they also recognize they could have invested that time a lot better.
So wait, what do you ask us about this? Like, what was your idea of this?
Yeah, it's not like I have like 100 kids and 5 million STDs and like.
No, you just constantly. Okay, I'm not going to talk about it.
Well, you might as well. But no, you drop the accusation. Go for it. You just constantly what? Say it. No, say it.
End this, right?
No, shut up,
Come on.
Melina. Shut up. Let him talk. What do you mean? Constantly what?
Hold.
Anything you do in life that's going to increase like your ability to like have fun or do like crazy stuff or whatever is always going to carry with it like the risk of death, right?
Absolutely.
Like you have no chance of dying by falling out of a plane unless you go skydiving. But that's not an argument. It's never skydiving.
But it is an argument against maybe skydiving 1,000 times if you don't want to die that way.
Right. And that's a very good point. Destiny's arguing, well, I like risky behavior and exposing myself to dangerous relationship situations, toxic environments, toxic women. And in this case, breaking the law, allegedly, is what we see. And we don't know if he's going to face any serious legal trouble for this. And he's trying to downplay it, like saying, well, a little bit of excitement is okay once in a while. And Abba responds back by saying, well, yeah, like going skydiving is cool, but if you do that 100 times, then you're increasing your fatality rate, right? The chances that things can go wrong. That's just a stupid decision.
If you want to skydive 1,000 times, skydive 1,000 times. Like, what's wrong? Damn, what happened to all the self-empowerment shit that you guys were talking about earlier?
I mean, it just depends on whether or not you want that outcome. If you're saying like, oh, I don't want this kind of destructive thing, or I don't want to end up dying by skydiving, then maybe don't skydive every other day.
Yeah, but I'm not complaining about that. You guys are. If your lifestyle choices are like, damn, I would never want to deal with like a crazy girl or anything.
Because Destiny's been skydiving on Grindr.
Like that, that's totally valid. I think that's totally fine. I accept that that's probably true for most people. But like, I'm okay with the trade-off on that for like all the benefits that I get. I like a lot of people. I like traveling a lot. I like doing drugs. I like my stream shit. That's like super fun for me to be like.
I like smashing a lot of people. And of course, he's talking about women and men there. And then he says, I like doing.
What the? Yo, I totally understand.
Drugs.
I totally understand. Totally understand. Most people struggle with the same thing. Maybe different way, but same thing. Habits. And it's not even habits. It's just that you have identified with these things for so long, you think they're you. So he loves his hell. He loves it. Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson, man. He loves his hell. I've learned so much listening to Jesse Lee Peterson. I'm just trying to spread the word myself, you know. Because we need it. People like Destiny needs this. And not only him, all of us need it. All of us, man.
And part of me's surprised because I saw this. I said, man, Destiny's going to crash out one day. He lives a very reckless life. I'm surprised that ABBA didn't even see this coming ahead of time.
Like, well, doesn't bad stuff happen sometimes, so you shouldn't do it? That doesn't compute to me. Like, I feel like I'm living a super amazing life, and I feel like there's a lot of shit that happens all the time. I understand it might be a lot for some people, but it seems weird to be like, oh, well, I think that you're like secretly like hurting or damaged inside because of some negative outcomes. Like,
or to others, because I think the main thing with this is you have to think about the activity. The activity involves hurting others. Like even Destiny, as good as he is at what he does, probably can admit he's broken a lot of hearts. He's disappointed a lot of women. He's made a lot of people upset. It's not just how he feels about it. When you involve other people in this kind of pursuit of pleasure.
Feelings. Interesting. Feelings. Feelings are evil, man. Evil. They're so evil. They set you up for happiness, set you up just to disappoint you. So relying on someone to make you feel good, it's not the way to go, because no human have love. None. And it's true. I've seen it myself. I witnessed it myself. I thought I had love at some point, when it turns out it wasn't even love. It was just evil, man. It was hatred. So when people tell you they love you, is it love? Not really. It's hatred. And there's a many ways you can see this, but I'll keep updating on this channel. So when I come up and stuff like that, I'll break it down and show you guys what's really happening. I watch movie. I was watching a series. You know, just to pass time, I guess. Shouldn't be doing that, but I was watching a series, and I see it all the time. Though they use the feelings to control you, they use emotion to control you, and they play it in movies, so it goes into society, and society adopts it. And I'm like, this is just crazy, man, crazy.
Other people get hurt as well. I'll stand by what I said at the beginning. I don't feel bad for Steven whatsoever because he knew what he was getting into.
His name is Steven.
He was brazen about it. When he was warned, when he said, hey, this is a bad idea, this is a bad lifestyle, he said, I don't care. I want to have fun. It's fun for me. That's why I like these mentally ill women.
Falling until he ain't fun no more. You like mentally ill woman? Bro, you crazy. He's crazy. The girls are crazy. Okay? Mentally ill? Sounds like they need to work on themselves, man. Crazy. They're just devils. The evil in them want the other evil, and it's just a tug and war. You know, let's use the more dominant evil. That's crazy. What a mess.
And that's why I like doing this stuff. That's why I can't keep my pants. It's because it's fun. Well, I'm like, all right, then. When it inevitably blows up in your face, I'm not gonna have no sympathy for you. You can be my friend, my worst enemy. I don't give a. If you engage in behavior repeatedly after you're warned, around and find out. And that's what Steven's doing.
All right. That's about it. What I know is happening right now. So,
all right. Seems like that was it. Really? You know, people love their hell, man. People love their hell, and not much you can do about it. You just have to let them enjoy it. And when the time comes and they want to make themselves better, make their life better, they might be rich, they might be making money, they might be having all of these girls and everything, but guess what? They're still missing that something, and they keep searching for it. That's why a lot of men, they're searching for love, and they think women have love to give, man. Sad mistake. You're looking for love in the wrong place, my guy. I've done it, so I know I've done it. It's crazy out here, but peace, man. We'll link up for another one around the corner. Peace.